What do you think it is that is attracting, what's bringing people here? What do you think they're finding here that's making them happy?
Well, I think we're going to have more because a lot of anti-Trump people are going to come back. And Robert De Niro said, you might have me here soon because if Trump wins, I think I want to come spend some time here. I've had some friends asking me, and I have some friends come and visit. First, Californian friends. This is very similar to California. Our weather is very similar. The coast is very similar. Then the Portuguese are very welcoming people. Hi, I'm Joaquim de Almeida. I'm the next guest on Portugal, The Simple Life podcast.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life. And it's a real honor to be joined by Joaquim de Almeida. Joaquim, boa tarde. Thank you for being on the podcast. Not a lot of people won't know who you are, but for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, what can I tell you? I was raised in Lisbon, in Alvalade, till the age of 17 when I left home. Lived for a year with some friends in Santa Catarina in Lisbon. And then I decided, the School of Theatre closed after the revolution in 75. And I decided it was time to go look for a place to study. So I asked my father, listen, we had this money put aside after we finished high school to go to buy a car. And I said, listen, I don't need a car. I need to go study somewhere. Can I use the money to go travel and find a place? And I was thinking Łódź in Poland because it was the school of Polanski and all that. Well, I ended up staying in Vienna because I called a friend, and he was, Pedrinho de Almeida, father of Maria de Medeiros, a famous Portuguese actress too, and a big maestro. I participated in an opera that he had written and done at the São Carlos. And he said, well, if you come to Vienna, give me a call, the things they say. So I called him up. And he says, well, where are you? I'm staying in a hostel. And I was like 18 years old. And he says, no, you come home. So I went home, and 6 months later, I ended up staying there for 10 months. And I married a friend of his, Hungarian, was communism times. And she had a scholarship to go to New York, to Juilliard School.
Okay.
And I wanted to study at Strasbourg. So we got married. So she got a Portuguese passport, and we ended up going. And that's how it all started.
To New York?
To New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I went to study English at the Columbia University because 6 hours a day. Because I always spoke languages, but English was not my language then. So then I took 6 hours a day, and 3 months later, I was accepted at the Strasbourg Theatre Institute. And that's how it all started.
Amazing. You went over to the States as a from via Vienna to the States as a young man. Often we have to leave the country that we're in to appreciate it in a different way. What were some of the things that you learned to appreciate about Portugal once you moved, and the things that you missed? We have that great word, saudade. What were some of the things that you learned to appreciate?
Let me tell you, what do you say? The first thing you miss is the food when you move out of Portugal, because people don't understand. If people ask me, what's Portuguese food? And I really have a hard time explaining what's Portuguese food. It's not pasta, it's not sauces like in France, it's not. No, Portuguese food is, but I say, listen, if you like fish, or even if you don't like fish, you're going to start liking fish. Because the way we Portuguese cook the fish, there's nobody in the world that cooks it like us. And not because I'm Portuguese, I believe that's true.
Yeah, I agree. Joaquim, we've seen over the last 8 to 10 years, a lot of Americans coming to our country more than ever before. You've been in America, you've been on the other side. What do you think it is that is attracting, what's bringing people here? What do you think they're finding here that's making them happy?
Well, I think we're going to have more because a lot of anti-Trump people are going to come back.
Yeah, looks like
I
it.
was at the Tribeca Film Festival that they just did in Portugal, and Robert De Niro said, you might have me here soon because if Trump wins, I think I want to come spend some time here." I've had some friends asking me, and I have some friends come and visit. First, Californian friends. This is very similar to California. Our weather is very similar. The coast is very similar. Um, then the Portuguese are very welcoming people. You know,
Yes.
uh, well, I tell you sometimes I think too welcoming because Sintra gets awful in the summer.
Yeah.
You can't move because of so many tourists. But it's not because that's not their fault. It's the fault of the operators that completely clog the streets and everything. But my American friends tell me they came and said, "God, I could live here, man, because this is so similar. The coast is similar. The food is great. The living is, and what attracts a lot of Americans and a lot of the Californians is that you can get a private insurance for very little money. I mean, but especially even if you don't have insurance, Portugal will take care of everybody. So the health insurance is something very precious. But if you have a family of four, you can get a health insurance if you're young for very little money. I'm old. I have my two kids and me on the insurance. I pay 4,000, but that's unimaginable in the States. I
Yeah.
have an insurance in the States, but it comes with my SAG, by the Screen Actors Guild, but which is cheaper. But anybody, a normal insurance in the United States for a family of four, it's minimum
Yeah.
12,
Yeah. Yeah.
1,500 a month,
Yeah.
right? So all these things are very attractive.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people don't have to be in the States. They can work from home. So that
Yeah,
makes it
that's changed it.
attractive. They can have a larger home for less money than they pay there. And think about it right now. The dollar and the euro are very, very similar.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, so your salary in the States here,
Goes a
so
long way.
yeah, it goes a long way. So hey, why not? What? And then there's another thing. If Portuguese is not something that you take up fast, everybody speaks English. That's why some of my English friends don't speak Portuguese that well because everybody
It's
speaks.
too easy. Yeah.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life Homebuyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Well, I mean, speaking of movies, you've been in some amazing films. My first question is, how does such a nice guy always end up playing these bad guy roles? As my son would say, the naughty. He's the naughty in the film. But I'm like, yeah, you're such a nice guy, and you play these interesting roles. How does that all happen for you?
Well, a lot of the guys that play the nice guys in the films are not so nice. Tell you the truth, I've worked with some. They're not so nice. Well, to start with, I've done a lot. I play a lot of bad guys in American films, not so much in Europe. And I did a lot of European films. I never played that many bad guys. I've played a few, but not that many. In the States, I've played also some roles where I haven't been a bad guy, but the most remarkable ones, the big blockbusters is where I played bad guys, and those are the ones seen by millions. So that's what they remember me. It's the bad guy. But people love the bad guys. There was a time in my life I said to my agent, "Listen, I don't want to play bad guys because I'll never get out of here." That took me, a year and a half, and I said, "I'm losing a lot of money. What am I doing? Forget it. I'll do the bad guys." And, And that was it. But hey, bad guys is always fun to play because when you play a bad guy, you're playing a guy you can't do in real life. When you play a good guy, you're playing somebody you could be in real life, but not the bad guy because you'd be in prison. So,
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. What are the things that make you proud of your country and your people, Portugal?
I think Portuguese are people that know how to live. They know how to enjoy life. They love the food. They love the weekends. They love the family. We like to be with the family. They like to be with friends. I mean, you go to the States. I have a few friends. Yes, we watch American football and we have some barbecue. But we have these lunches of 4-hour lunches. We like to sit at the table and talk while the kids play in the garden and in the pool, and we like to talk and never get up. We enjoy that. I mean, I'm very proud of that. There's something beautiful about this country. Small but creative people. We had Spain around us, and we didn't get along, so we had to go discover the world, and we went to discover the world, and that tells us a lot about the Portuguese. We were big navigators. There were secrets, state secrets, the designs of the caravels. And we designed these boats that were fast, and we kept them away from Spain so they would know how to design the same boat. And then, because of kings that didn't get married and were killed in Africa, and then we lost 60 years of our independence to Spain, and they destroyed our beautiful boats. But hey, very proud of it.
It's amazing. So you were a bit of a navigator yourself, leaving so young and going off and making a huge success of your life. Did you always know that you would come back, or did it happen at a certain stage?
Yes, I always wanted to come back and stay. One thing I made sure my kids were born in Portugal because I knew that one day I want to finish here. So I want to make sure that they know where I'm going to be. My daughter is here. My son is in New York, but he wants to come back here. So, hey, it was a good point. Make them, and from Portuguese mothers. But all my life, I went back and forth.
Yeah.
Never stayed away too long from Portugal.
What are some of the things that you've seen that have changed here in our country? And what are the things that you're happy that have stayed the same?
The changes are enormous because when I left this country in 1976, we were very backwards country, very backwards. Salazar and Caetano kept us in a very backward position. People were very uneducated. There wasn't a lot of people didn't know how to read and write. We didn't have roads like God. One thing is amazing in Portugal. We have some of the best roads in Europe, some of the best roads in the world. People come to this country and are amazed. You can go anywhere on highways. So you can reach anywhere fast. You couldn't. It took forever to reach places. So to compare it is really, when I left this country, I left it because I didn't know what was going to happen. But the democracy changed everything. The entrance in the European Union changed everything. This country has developed since 1976 when I left immensely. And I saw it because I kept coming back, especially after a certain point, after like the 20 years after the revolution, it really took a big step forward.
For people that would be looking to explore other parts of the country that are off the beaten track, that are outside of these heavily touristic areas, what places would you suggest people go visit in the country?
I'll tell them that there's a great route, Nacional 2. Nacional 2 is a great route. You go from the south to the north. You see the different places, the difference from different places in Portugal, from the Algarve to the Alentejo, Beira Baixa, Beira Alta, Beira Baixa. I think it's great. I love Beira. It's one of the Jerez, the area there. The north I love Alentejo too. It's all different parts. So I think that's why I always said this is a great country where we have to build some studios, some film studios, because in such a short distance, you have completely different scenarios. And I think, I mean, you don't have to travel that many hours, and you have a completely different scenario. No, but I think Portugal, but for me, one of my favorite things, the north, I love all the Beira Baixa, Beira Alta, Beira Litoral. All that Beira for me is beautiful. And I was just spent some time in Jerez too. Jerez is one of the really beautiful places we have.
Yeah. It's an amazing country with so much to see. And Joaquin, what's one thing that you would like people to remember and to take away from our conversation?
Well, I don't know. I like them to remember that for once that I'm a very normal guy. I'm not the Hollywood star. A lot of people think I'm this. They don't know me. No, I'm a very down to earth guy, and I like them to remember that. Hey, if you hear this, be very happy that you live in Portugal. It's not so bad. I've been 48 years in the States, and I'm really glad I'm here. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise kids.
Awesome. Joaquin, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much. A question that we ask all of our guests: Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Why complicate life? It's not that simple. It's simple. If you have a certain way of living in Portugal, yes, it's a simple life. But, let's think that a lot of people don't have it that easy. It's a country that still, we need bigger salaries. We need changes. But, hey, why people move here? Because it's simple, because it's quiet, because you don't have the problems that you have in Paris. You don't have the problems of the big cities, even if we had a few in Lisbon recently. But, hey, it's a people of peace. So keep it that way. Please keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. This is probably a phrase that you've heard said a lot. I don't know how many times you've had the chance to say it, but I'm going to let you call it.
It's a wrap. Thank you all very much.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.